The Las Vegas Raiders, just like everybody, have their questions. They've got the things you're taking a look at, the position groups, all the different things that kind of go into these OTAs and off-season work. And yes, there's some things you take a look at for whether it's the right tackle position, how will that offensive line hold up? Also, the defensive line. There's some things I would like to take a serious look at. But as we head into the latest headlines for the Las Vegas Raiders before training camp, there's a lot of things to take a look at. So, by the way, we also asked you guys to give us a guy to take a look at in terms of reporters, and one of the names that popped up quite a bit in the comment section was a guy that I didn't know at first, but Vincent Bonsignor is Bonsignor, excuse me, is I don't know how to, I'm gonna call him a VB. I don't know, because I really do. So but overall, the man knows what he's talking about. This guy is a fantastic writer, writes for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, and I think there's a lot of things to take away from his latest article, or one of his latest articles, talking about the biggest headlines and questions, as well as the latest from Raiders OTAs that end, by the way, with confidence and question marks. In fact, that was actually the latest title that he wrote. Raiders OTAs end with questions and confidence and question marks, excuse me. So a lot of different things from this article. Number one, fantastic article written once again. So I starts it off. The Raiders wrapped up their off-season program Monday, a day earlier than expected after first-year head coach Josh McDaniels rewarded his players with an early break. I know I added the head coach bit in there, but it is what it is. With a handful of new players on the roster and new systems to teach on offense and defense, the team has been measured with its time the past 5 months. That was apparent when the Raiders opened organized team activities and minicamp to the media. So one of the first things I took away is, yes, as you see, the new team president there, Sandra Douglas Morgan, but they can wait on rookies. This is such a big thing to hit on right off the back. So during the past 3 years, the Raiders have needed rookies to fill significant holes. The results were mixed. Often it was an issue of big draft misses, and there were glaring examples of that. Those days appear to be over, and that was clear this offseason. Absolutely. I'm so excited about this. You don't need to rely on rookies to be a big part of your organization right now. They can develop and then come out potentially in year 2 or 3 and do some big things. It says, of the Raiders draft class, only Dylan Parham has a true chance to win a starting job. Love it. I have been on the Dylan Parham wagon train this entire time. Please just put this man on the field. I don't care how you do it. Just find a way. Then it also mentions Neil Farrell Jr., and Matthew Butler, as well as running back Zamir White. Neil Farrell Jr., I think when he's talking about, no knock on them, but here's the thing. Neil Farrell Jr. has a shot to push, a chance to push Jonathan Hankins for that starting defensive tackle position, like every little bit of it. And it's not even just a little bit. Like, he has every shot to be able to start. I absolutely believe it. So I'm excited for a guy like Neil Farrell Jr. He's going to be a guy that's really fun to watch. So, and obviously Matthew Butler, in my opinion, is probably the better pass rusher out of all those guys. So, you got Jonathan Hankins, Kyle Pakover and Butler, Matthew Butler, Butler, Neil Farrell Jr., all those guys on the inside, but it's definitely going to be something to watch. And so it also talks about the fact that, in the past, there have been specifically some guys that have had to step up in key positions like wide receiver, the defensive line, secondary, and linebacker. But that seems to be not true this year for those positions. When you talk about, the Raiders a couple years ago, they were counting on Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, and second-year player Hunter Renfrow to lead the way at wide receiver. Now that room now features Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Demarcus Robinson, Keelan Cole, and Matt Collins. Love it. My biggest question is who's going to start at wide receiver 3. That's it. That's the only question I have, and I can't wait for it. So, then it also talks about the secondary, with young guys like Nate Hobbs and Tre'von Moehrig. We'll get into them in a second, but coming off strong rookie seasons that look like they could really find a way to contribute and to grow off those strong seasons and be top edge players for the Raiders. Now, another thing I brought up was right tackle uncertainty. There's a lot of things going on with this. I believe the Raiders, they split first team reps at right tackle between Alex Leatherwood and Brandon Parker. There's the thing. Obviously, Leatherwood started, the first 4 games and then was moved to guard. I get it. I get the fact that they want to put Parker in, and obviously there's a lot of people that have been saying, including this article talking about how Parker is more of a stopgap answer, and that's probably true. But I would just like to see, like, if these guys don't work out, if Alex Leatherwood and Brandon Parker just aren't getting it done. Can we try Bamidele Olaseni out at right tackle just one time? What's the worst that can happen? He sucks. Okay, fine. We'll put somebody else in. But I mean, the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work out. The best thing can happen is that, well, you get another talented player on the field, and he is a starter at right tackle for a long time. So, definitely something to still take a look at. Who's going to start at right tackle? How is that position going to hold up in training camp and all that? So I'm excited for it. So, and then it talks about Hobbs and Moehrig again. And we said we'd come back to him. Hobbs being the 5th ranked best cornerback in the NFL according to Pro Football Focus last year. Moehrig, the 25th ranked safety list. And then also just Moehrig, I love this quote. I'm just hungry to get better, start this season, and just continue to grow with the team, continue to practice at a high level. Moehrig, I'm so excited for Tre'von Moehrig. And also obviously we've talked about Nate Hobbs ad nauseum. This is going to be a really fun offseason, a really fun season with those two. I think you finally got 50% of your secondary lockdown. I love it. So then it talks about such great heights and all that. There's a lot of talk about how confident these guys are. How confident they are, and I love it. I think that's a big thing as you head into training camp, as you head into a lot of the different things that you look to bring into the NFL this year, like shocking the rest of it. Maybe we'll have to see. But overall, there's a lot of big things coming out of the OTAs for the Raiders. A couple of questions, yes, but there's a lot of confidence kind of being exuberated through this team, and I can't wait to see how this all does come to an end. But let me know what you guys think. That's the latest headlines and news for the Las Vegas Raiders before we head into training camp. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Also, we will leave a link to this article, fantastic article, down in the description below. Make sure you guys check it out. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the latest headlines for the Las Vegas Raiders before we head into training camp.